going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another great episode of the Stoop, where we talk hoops, and more hoops. But yet today we got something a little different. But listen, we got a great episode nonetheless. I'm your guy, TJ, man. And thank y'all so much for all your support and always tuning in. Before we get started, I got to introduce my player partner, my co-host, co-founder, my man with the plan, Kev P. Say what's up to the people, bro.
It's a pleasure to be here as always, sir.
Hey, Kev P, I'm really super duper excited about this living legend that we got coming on live today on this.
As am I.
Listen, when it comes to vocals, man, she could blow with the very best of them. She's a part of a super group, but she's super dynamic in her own right, man. And she's covered on her way to stardom some of the most iconic legends in the game, but she stands on her own too. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the Stoop today is Miss Ashley Williams. Ashley Williams, thank you so much for coming on the Stoop. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys for having me. This
Absolutely.
is dope.
Pleasure's ours.
Kev P, let's get started, bro.
Absolutely. Kelly Rowland set out to create a new African-American girl group, stating that I felt like there was a void for girl groups in the music industry. We say all the time in the Stoop that representation matters. Give us your thought as it pertains to June's Diary, and more importantly, with the recent election and the swearing in of our vice president.
Ooh, we're getting deep real soon. Okay. Well, personally, I never wanted to be a part of a girl group because I've always been a solo artist. I started singing at the age of 12, and from 12 until 26, 27, I was always by myself. But I've always had multiple friend groups. I've always loved to get to know people, especially diverse groups. But this was something that that was new to me that I wanted to explore. And when I joined the group, when I made the group, it was something that I had never experienced, but I loved it just because I gained 4 new sisters. I was very excited to get to know these 4 ladies, as well as embark on a journey that I didn't see for myself. So I love trying new things. I love challenges, as well as we realized what we were doing to young Black girls all over the world, as well as young Black men and people who are in the age bracket of, for some reason, 30 to like 55. I think that was the age demographic, mainly because of Frank Gatson, who was our manager and who also started the show with Kelly Rowland. And he developed In Vogue as well as Destiny's Child. So I think it's important that we share our stories as Black women, as well as highlight the fact that unity is the most important thing, because without that, there's nothing. So we've realized that we've inspired a lot of young women, but also we've reached out to other girl groups that are coming up, like Good Girl. And when people see that, they're more inclined to support it, because me personally, I don't like drama. I like positivity. I like love. And this recent election is an example of where America should not go, because Joe Biden came out on top, and the whole Capitol incident was something that really brought a lot of things to light for people who also supported Trump at one point and are Republicans. So I think that overall love wins, unity wins. United we stand, divided we fall. I know it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. And I think that the power that African Americans have when they stand together is something that is so dope. So I hope that this election is something that highlights what it means to stand together, as well as June's Diary. When we are together, we're a force to be reckoned with. So that's why I love my girls.
That was very well said. It's almost like you had that answer planned already. That was pretty good.
No.
But I wanted to ask you this. You have quite the journey. Wonderful story. But in regards to chasing destiny, initially you were cut and then they brought you back. What was your mind state in between that period of, and being in limbo, being cut, and then being brought back?
Oh, you don't understand how long I waited for that call. And I remember it being my birthday. It was actually around this time, January 15th, where I went out to some bar and Frank Gatson was celebrating one of the dancers who is involved in Beyonce's dance triage. And he said, come to the studio tomorrow. I want you to come show up and sing. And I'm thinking I'm going to, mentor or something, because I'm older than a lot of the girls, but also I'm very, very nervous because I knew I did get picked. Like I had heard that girls were being auditioned to be in different clusters of groups. So when I showed up, I was very modest and quiet in my corner. Like, I don't know what's about to happen, but whatever they asked me to do, I'm gonna do it. And the day that I showed up, they wanted me to sing and be a part of a group. And I just completely took over the whole thing. I think I chose the song, I gave the arrangements. I think my mindset at that point was, it's now or never, and you need to fight to the death, because I do believe that what Kelly and Frank are doing is amazing. So pins and needles turned into, it's about to be a battle, and I came out on top. So I'm grateful.
You've been in the game for quite some time, which takes some guts. It takes being tough. It takes definitely some perseverance. Does that resonate from being from Compton? Did you get that from somebody in your family? Is a little bit of both? Speak on that.
I think I'm wow. My story definitely has a lot to do with why I feel the way that I feel about resilience. When I was 5 years old, my mother relapsed and got addicted to drugs once again, and my sister began to raise me and my brother. And one thing that I am is I'm very observant. I notice things, I remember things. My memory is like real key. And I just remember during that time what it felt like to be not necessarily abandoned, but watching my sister struggle to raise two children who weren't hers while going to school, while working two jobs. So I remember her going to Dominguez Hills and us sitting in the car after school, just waiting for her to finish class and still trying to feed us, give us dinner, make sure that we were prepared for school the next day. So if there's any image of what a hardworking person is in my life, it's my sister. And I want to follow in her footsteps to the T. She's now an assistant principal at an elementary school. And I've heard her talk about this dream for so long. So in order to continue the legacy of the Adolph girls, I feel like it would only be right to pay homage to not only her, but my family, to do them justice and to give back to them what they've given to me, which is a life that I never thought that I could have, because my life could have turned out so different. I was from Compton, or I am from Compton, and drive-bys every Friday, I kid you not, laying in the middle of the hallways with sleeping bags, just waiting for the gunshots to subside. So it was always in me, like, you're gonna succeed no matter what. I don't care if you have to do this and do that. So by any means necessary, I'm still working towards that goal. And I owe that to my family for sure.
Definitely cool. Appreciate that. Listening to y'all sing, lift every voice and sing just gives me chills. It really does give me goosebumps. Y'all did y'all thing with that in 2017 with Essence, and then y'all did a dope montage with the backdrop of Dr. King's voice in 2020. Given the recent facts of things that's just been going on in this country, man, how prevalent was that? And what was that opportunity like for y'all as well?
Are you talking about the Essence one?
Essence, I was actually talking about the one with the school backdrop with Dr. King's voice.
Okay. That was, we were fresh off the show. So the background of that was they asked us to sing the national anthem, the American version. And we had this whole rendition prepared. We were literally in the dance studio working it out because they asked us to sing it at the Luda Day celebrity basketball game. And then we get a call. We actually want y'all to sing the Black national anthem. Now, mind you, some of us don't even know it. I do. But a few of the girls were like, I'm not familiar with the words, but we literally put together a rendition in like an hour and a half. And with 5 ladies, that's hard because everybody
get your harmony right.
Yeah, you got to figure out the arrangements. But I think at that time we realized how important it was for Black voices to be heard. So it was like, okay, we're gonna get this done no matter how long it takes. I think we left around 1 in the morning. I had to sing the next day. So when we were in the locker room, we were just rehearsing, and one of our people just was filming it just as we were getting ready. So it was an honest moment, because why not lift every voice and sing as African Americans at the Luda Day celebration? Something really, really important in Atlanta. Like, Luda is a big deal. So we were honored and grateful.
Good, Kev.
Before Chasing Destiny, you gave it a go on X Factor, where you performed before Kelly Rowland. I have a question. Did she recall you, remember you from performing in X Factor when you auditioned, or did she specifically seek you out to be on Chasing Destiny?
She did not seek me out. I was given an audition opportunity from a friend, like, hey, they're casting for this show for the group. Would you want to do it? And I said no 3 times, but he kept asking me, you have nothing to lose at this point, so I think you should do it. And I think I remember asking if she remembered me, and she was like, hey, you're the girl from, and then she remembered. So it was, I think it was 2 completely isolated events. I had looked different at that point. I had bangs back in 2012, and then there I had like this huge red dress on with a weave. So no, there were 2 isolated events, but I do respect the fact that she was able to recognize something in me both times.
And your talent stands out. That's really what it comes down to. Now,
thank you.
On X Factor, you famously nailed I'll Always Love You. And then you came back and you did I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Vocally and culturally, they're 2 vastly different songs. I mean, you could not be further apart. Is there a particular reason that you chose those 2?
Well, since I'm not on the show anymore, and it's been years, and I think I've stated this before, I did not choose that song. They chose that song, and I was mad. So I think they had given us a list of songs.
Which song are we talking about?
Aerosmith. Sorry.
Okay.
Are you talking about I Will Always Love You?
Well, I thought you chose them both, and that was your choice, but you're saying they gave you I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
It was all TV. It was all TV. But I Will Always Love You. I don't know why I chose that song, honestly. I didn't even think I was going to make it. I had auditioned for X Factor the prior year and didn't make it. So this time I submitted an online video because a few of the producers were familiar with me, but I was like, well, let me just sing I Will Always Love You. I had never sang that song at any event, not at church, no, nothing. But I just wanted to give it a go. And I was like, it ain't gonna matter. And lo and behold, they chose that song for me to sing on live television. But when God is intentional and when he gives you something and implants, he put that seed in you, there's nothing you could do about it. So I don't even question it at this point. But Aerosmith, definitely not my choice. Great song, but that was the producers.
So let me ask you this then. I have to go a little bit deeper into this whole Aerosmith thing, because I actually, people may find it odd, but I like that song.
I do too.
And when people do like wildly popular songs like that, they often try to vocally emulate the original artist, and they fall flat. Let's face it. Obviously, that's not what happened with you. You somehow managed to make both those songs your own, and you transform that Aerosmith song into basically an R&B song, which is dope. Is that something that you do on your own sometime? You just kind of repurpose different genres and practice this kind of thing? Or is that just like, they do this, I got to do it?
I think it's always best to incorporate your own style into something that is not yours, just to give people an idea of who you are aside from that artist. Like when people do covers, and YouTube was huge back when I don't know, like Chloe and Halle, they got their big break on YouTube, but the fact that they played and did their own vocal arrangements, it just added something different. And I've heard so many people say, wow, your version was so much better than the original. Not just me, just artists, period. So it's almost like a remix. And I felt like I wouldn't have been doing myself justice if I didn't put my spin on it, because at first I was like, what am I going to do with this? How am I going to sing a rock song? And I've known R&B and gospel my whole life. So when Demi Lovato tried to give me words of encouragement, I just realized that it was an opportunity for me to step outside of the box. So if you can step outside the box and still kill it, even though I didn't think I killed it.
Nah, you crushed that.
Thank you. If you could do that, why not? Take it a step further. Some things you should probably just stick to the blueprint just a little bit more, but yourself will always come out in things that you feel passionate about. And I'm passionate about music, period. And I'm always going to give my all. So, yeah.
All right. Go ahead, T.
So, Ms. Williams, this past week, we saw history being made with our first ever woman of African-American Asian descent become elected as vice president of our great nation.
Hey.
So I'm not messing with you today. What are some of the things independently that you like to champion as a woman? And what are some of the things like the group likes to champion and get behind as women as well, collectively?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I've always had the dream to do outreach in my community, not just Compton, because I live in South Central now, but just a place where kids can express themselves. And a lot of the arts were cut from school programs. A lot of the arts, like kids don't have music class in the inner city communities, music class, dance class, art, where they can draw or paint or whatever their expression is. And I just feel like we should bring that back, because I went to AGC, Amazing Grace Conservatory, and it was started by Wendy Raquel Robinson, and probably was the bud of my interest in music, because I seen so many different facets of just how Black people are dope as hell. So I want to be able to give something like that back to the young kids in my community, because I've seen some of these kids out here and they're so talented. They just don't have the resources to put themselves out there. So that's one of my biggest dreams. But with June's Diary, I think we just want to bring girl groups back. And that's a meaning in itself, where you can have 5 women who will stand the test of time because of their music, because of their imprint, and because we're about unity. Like, one thing that we do as females, we talk. If something is not right, what's going on? Let's hash it. And it's nothing malintent about it. There's no malintent about it. It's just, if we're gonna make this work and make this money, as well as leave our impression on the world, then we need to talk. And there's one thing about En Vogue and Destiny's Child that I admire. They've never disbanded. Might have had a few members come in and come out, but the most important thing was not the music and just the message, but that sisterhood. So that's the biggest thing. We see too many females online coming against each other, fighting, beefing, and I get it. People might have their beef, but at the end of the day, you have a platform where you can either spew hate or you can spew love, and we choose to disseminate love.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're talking about messaging, and that's great. That's wonderful, because of artists right. Give poignant, words that mean so many different things, and great meaning at that. But let's walk away for a second. Have you personally had a moment where you lost your memory because someone was on your mind?
Lost my memory because someone was on my mind?
Have you personally? I'm talking about the song. Let's walk away. I'm just inquiring.
What song? What you mean?
Let's talk. Walk way off. I'm sorry, way off. Way off. The song Way Off. Y'all song Way Off.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I haven't had many boyfriends. I've only had 2. But when I love hard. And if we're not on the same page and I'm not happy and I talk to you about it and it's not the same wave, I'm outie. I don't like wasting my time at all. So yeah, no.
He said no.
We're not doing that.
What moment professionally are you still chasing that hasn't happened yet thus far?
Professionally, I want to.
This is just for you.
I know a lot of people speak about. You said this for me?
Just for you. Yep. And you can have a couple.
I know a lot of people speak about. I know Grammys, but a Grammy would be nice, but I really want to sell out stadium tours. That's the huge mark for me. Hearing people sing our songs or my songs, depending on how the future goes, but yeah, stadium tours. Headlining, okay.
Headlining stadium tours. Okay. Let's claim that.
You throw that in there.
Yeah, let's claim that.
Claiming it. Ale!
Let's claim that.
Take it into fruition.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Listen, the group has released mixtapes, singles, EPs. But when can we expect a full-length album? And are you working on anything for yourself currently?
Oh, child. Oh, COVID, Coronisha, Quarantina has completely thrown everything off. When I tell you, we had a system before March 2020. Like we had dates lined up for us to get together and record, and it's just become so hard. Not only that, we live in different places. So I'm here with Gab, and Bree is in Jersey, Crystal's in Atlanta, and Shy is in Florida. So having to record remotely in the midst of studios still being closed, I would definitely get a setup. I don't know how to work Pro Tools. Gabby does, Brianna does, but it's always been a challenge. So whenever we can get together and work on stuff, then that's the thing. But we're working on the EP just because producing a whole album in the midst of everything that's happened is really, really hard. But yeah, I'm working on stuff for myself as well. I think if you're an artist and you love what you do, you're always creating personally, even aside from being in a partnership within whatever business. Your mind should always be moving and thinking of the next way to brand yourself in a higher magnitude. So I'm getting there, but the priority is definitely June's Diary.
Okay, real quick though, the male version, me. Whose idea was that?
Male Edition was of Crystal's husband, D Rose. He actually thought it would be dope for us to cover a whole bunch of male songs. And at that point, we were in limbo with Epic and the whole relationship with, I guess, where we were going to go with Kelly and the whole label. So we decided to take it upon ourselves to embark on that whole idea with him, and his cousin Keys, him and his cousin Keys produced a whole 6-song EP for us, and thought it was one of the best things that we ever did because it was so cohesive and it sounded dope. And
Yeah, that
hopefully we
Jodeci
can
was
produce a
mean.
female edition. I know that was my favorite.
Yeah, that Jodeci was mean. Go ahead, T.
Thank you.
Yeah, you stupid.
Yeah, it was. Yo, come on, man. I give credit where it's due.
It is hard.
Thank
It is
you.
definitely hard. Let's see, Miss Williams. When it comes to rap and gospel, a lot of people, especially if you've been raised in the church like myself, that's just some things that's not intertwined. How do you feel about that? And because that's been a part of your journey as well, being a part of something that did have those things intertwined, did you enjoy it? Did you feel compromised? And what was the benefits for you for that?
I don't really talk about Sunday service a lot just because it's a lot of opinions that aren't warranted just because they have this judgment of who Kanye West is as a person and as an artist. But I would honestly say that Sunday service changed my life for the better because I've heard rap artists try to do gospel and it's never spoken to me in the way that Sunday service has. And not only do we do rap, we also cover songs that are R&B, songs that are rock, songs that are country. We go everywhere. But I think at the end of the day, when the message is love, when the message is God, and you put a dope beat to it, it'll reach the masses. And I saw that firsthand when we would travel around the world and people who would come back and say, I don't even believe in God, but now I want to explore what it means to be a Christian. I don't even believe in God, but your music touched me and I want to buy the album. Just so many different things. And you have to listen to the people when you're putting music out for the people. So they can have their opinions, but I know for a fact, one of the only things that Sunday service is about is God. I know for a fact. So no matter what the haters say, because there's plenty of haters, and I'm African-American, I'm Black, I grew up in the church, and I don't play about God. But one thing that I know for certain is that the ultimate message is God. So if that's in the mix and it sound good, let's go.
Got you. Appreciate that. One thing that we noticed from you that you do absolutely well with modeling. Is that something you like per se?
Me?
Or yeah, is that something you just do for the industry, or is that something you would think about doing in the future? And shout out my man Jay Bolin, because that Jay Bolin with that white dress with the hood is my personal favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on. Honestly, I don't like taking pictures.
Okay.
I don't know why. I've never really, I don't know. It's just sometimes I'm a little shy sometimes. When I was a kid, it was very, very hard to get me out of my shell. But I think doing music and being groomed to be this superstar, you have to break out. And one of my biggest mantras is 20 seconds of insane courage, because sometimes that's all it takes for you to take that next step and just break the ice. Even if it's just for yourself, or even if you're in a room full of people who are completely intimidating, 20 seconds of insane courage, you walk up to that person, you say this, or you start the photo shoot and you go, I'm just going to dance, I'm going to do my thing. So I've learned to be comfortable with being in front of the camera. But if I had my way, I would love to just do the music, get on stage, perform, but pictures, not my thing.
Okay. Good to know. Miss Williams, it's been an absolute pleasure for you to pull up to the Stoop with us today. We really, really enjoyed your time, but we got one more quick question for you, if you don't mind, before you take off. It's a two-part question. The first part question is this. What group did you like as a female artist yourself looking at while growing up and getting into this journey? And also, if I gave you 5 independent slots to produce your own super group of females, who would be on your super group? So like I said, the first one, what was a girl group that you emulated or you liked watching or was a fan of growing up? And then I give you 5 slots to make your own super group. Who would be in your super group?
Wow.
No pressure.
Well, obviously, Destiny's Child. They're one of the biggest selling girl groups of all time. And I don't know, just amazing. That's for me, it's a given. And In Vogue. See, if we're going into this, I can name off a couple, but I'm gonna make them my top 2.
Okay, we got time.
In Vogue and Destiny's Child.
Okay.
And a super group, Ashley, Crystal, Gabby, Shy, and Brianna from June's Diary. Hey!
That was smooth. I ain't going for that. Was smooth. That was smooth. Well, listen, Miss Ashley Williams, we wish you all the best with everything you got going on and all your future endeavors. On behalf of me and Kev P, it was a pleasure to have you on today. So with that being said, listen, anytime you want to come back up to the Stoop or you want to bring the ladies with you, we can definitely do that as well.
Next time we together, I will let you know so we can come on here and talk real.
I'm gonna hold that to you.
Absolutely.
All right.
We're gonna be ready too.
Got it.
Thank you.
For my guy Kev P, this has been another great episode of The Stoop. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and tune in. Take care. We'll see y'all soon.